continue to have an administration and a president of the United States who puts his vanity projects ahead of the needs of the people of our country. And let me just be more clear about that. I've been to the border. I prosecuted transnational criminal organizations. The idea that he is trying to say that we have people that are trying to invade our country to commit mass crime is a crisis of his own making. You talk with the people who take an oath to protect our border, and they will tell you the trafficking that is happening of drugs and guns coming into our country, it's happening at ports of entry. We don't need a multi-billion-dollar wall. That wall ain't gonna stop them. We need resources at our ports of entry. And of course, we need to have border security. But this is a crisis of his own making because it was a campaign pledge that took heat and propelled him to victory. And he feels the need to keep reciting what is a lie. On the subject of transnational gangs, let's be perfectly clear. The president's medieval vanity project is not going to stop them.
Yeah, so obviously she seems to be doing quite well with, her border policies. It only took her 4 years to really come up with a new policy. She goes on to say she once called the wall un-American while Trump was building it, noted and characterized the decision as the latest example of Harris flip-flopping on her past liberal positions such as supporting Medicare for all and banning fracking. Proposals that A says she is now against. Now, again, what I'm going to be showing you guys is the actual thing here of what her talking about the accepting the border wall, right, where she's allowing this. And again, this is something that I have to tell everyone here what's going on. So, Trump made a statement saying, how much longer will the mainstream media allow Kamala Harris to hide and use staff to speak on her behalf? It's day 37 of 0 interviews, and Kamala's anonymous campaign sources are now claiming she supports President Trump's border wall. This is a preposterous and false claim. Kamala's record proves she is a pro-open border. She called the wall un-American, a waste of taxpayer money, medieval, and said it is going to stop illegal immigration. As a senator, Kamala tried to block President Trump's construction of the border as wall. As border czar, Kamala Harris halted construction of the border wall. Kamala's actions speak much louder than the words of the anonymous staff she is cowering behind. So, yeah, that's exactly true. And she did a lot of damage, guys. She's not just doing this. Like, again, she says, this is Joe Biden to pause border wall construction, issue protections for DACA recipients, and roll back other Trump immigration policies. So there we go. And we can't say that Kamala Harris was not proud about this, because as you can see, she was the one that advocated for this. She was the one that wanted this stuff to happen. And then she also goes out and did not support ICE. She literally said she does not support ICE. And this is what we have here. As a senator, Kamala Harris tried to take $220 million out of ICE's enforcement division. So I don't know about you guys, but it doesn't look good. It even says here, in the middle of the Trump administration's effort to ramp up deportations of criminal illegal aliens in 2019, then Senator Kamala Harris introduced a bill that would have taken $220 million out of the Enforcement and Removal Operations Division of U.S. Immigration and Customs, which is responsible for arrests and deportations of illegal aliens. The goal of the bill was to frustrate ICE's public safety mission and allow for criminal aliens to remain in the United States. So, again, where is this thing here to where Kamala Harris is doing well? And again, of course, we have this. Kamala Harris backtracked on a border wall she called a medieval vanity project and a waste of taxpayer money. She even Axios is criticizing her, saying Harris flip-flops on building the border wall. If she's elected, President Kamala Harris pledges to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on the wall along the southern border, a project she had once opposed the un-American during the Trump administration. So, guys, who are you going to believe here? Again, I'm going to show you one more time of what she actually said about the border wall.
The trafficking that is happening of drugs and guns coming into our country, it's happening at ports of entry. We don't need a multi-billion-dollar wall. That wall ain't gonna stop them.
I'm not going to vote for a wall under any circumstances, and I do support border security. And if we want to talk about that, let's do that.
See, this is what I'm talking about here. She is saying she didn't want the border wall, and now all of a sudden, 4 years later, where she seems that she's in desperate need of wanting to get votes, because remember what I said before, that she is using tactics to try to remove people and try to make sure she wins. She is now, she's done this before where she's stolen ideas for no tax on tips. Now, Trump literally said back in June 9th of this year that he was now going to do tax on tips.
Going to not charge taxes on tips, people making tips.
And then you have Kamala Harris over here saying like, oh, only a couple of months later, oh, we're going to do taxes on tips.
And eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
So, guys, you got to tell me on to why we're going to agree or follow this woman and her failed policies or what she says that's coming out of her mouth. Because she is flip-flopping all over the place. I mean, even Axios, is saying that she's flip-flopping on the building the border wall, and we all know this is a lie. I mean, she even tweeted this. She tweeted this saying, Trump's border wall is just a stupid use of money. I will block any funding for it. So, what is going on here? Guys, like, this isn't crazy. What she's done so far is stolen Trump's no tax on tips, and then she's also stolen Trump's border wall policy. She has to be desperate. She has to be shaking right now because there's no reason why she would want to adopt Trump's border policies. And the other thing too is, most of the time is that you would have both presidents wanting to have different policies and ways they're going to implement these policies. Except with Kamala Harris, that's what's happening here. Nobody's implementing any new policies besides Trump. Kamala Harris is what we call, again, the pirate policy stealer, or policy pirate, because she's the one that's stealing policies from Trump. That's just the reality. And if you liberals are like, oh, she's not doing that, it's like, well, I just showed you guys. If you actually took the time to watch the video, I just showed you guys that is the reality. That is what's going on here. And cope and seethe all you want, but that's just the reality. She just can't be trusted. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and as always, take care my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. This is algorithmic disease, the social media.